Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday night segment of The Outer Realm. We are broadcasting live via the International Public Radio here on United Public Radio Network, hopefully 105.3 FM in beautiful New Orleans. We're not really sure what the situation is out there, but hopefully it'll rectify soon. This evening's segment, like every evening segment, is sponsored by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee. Thank you, Folgers. We love you muchly. Tonight, we welcome for the very first time to the show Wayne Murphy, and he will be discussing all kinds of stuff, Mohican folklore and legends and different. I can't get it. I just can't get into it all, but Vatican paintings, North American Templar stuff, a little bit. Yes. So it's going to be really exciting because this will be a lot of stuff that you probably haven't heard. So I think it's definitely pretty exciting. But in order to participate in the show, you are going to have to stop by the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, where you can, that's just on YouTube, where you can interact directly, tag Amelia. She'll be able to push your questions and comments through International Public Radio, UFO Gods and Extraterrestrials, YouTube. You'll be able to hit the Outer Realm Facebook page on Facebook and both of our networks' Facebook pages, Twitch, Twitter. We're streaming live across 8 different platforms. So, settle in and get ready. Pick a platform. Know that we will do our very best to address your questions. But if you're not in UFO Paranormal, it's going to be a little bit tougher. So, Bubbles.
Hello.
How's it going? Hello.
Well, I'll tell you in a brief statement rather than tell you the whole freaking day. But
I'm with you, sister.
Right before coming on, I've got a frizzball of a hair because I have to go in to get my hair cut. So I can't put any oil or anything because of the color. But anyways, long story short, I almost put Febreze in my hair instead of hairspray. That's the kind of day it's been.
Yeah, that would not have worked out very well.
I don't know what it would have done to the color, to be honest, because red is just so delicate. But anyways.
Tell me.
Tell
me. I have to wait till the 12th for mine. So
at least you got it. That's good.
I got it. I did.
Yeah,
it's really tough.
A long time for that.
I have.
So lucky you don't have gray. It looks great.
I thank you. And no gray hair helps.
No gray hair helps.
Knock on wood.
Reason for a hairband. So, but yeah.
But otherwise, my day was just like ass. I said it. But that's okay. That's okay.
It's okay.
It happens. So, oh my God, Zach Man's comment. Don't feel bad about the Febreze. My fiance uses that as body spray. I love it.
Love it.
I'm
just more concerned. See, my hair reads really red on camera, but it's not. It's more of an orangey color. So I was just concerned about when I picked it up, and I'm like, why is there a handle? My hair doesn't have a handle. And I went to spray. I'm like, because I just blindly went, and I can't use a lot. She's going to put the color in. It's not going to
The alternative would be using the spray to spray the wash and sticks to everything.
Oh my God. I used to kill spiders with my hairspray.
I used to do that to spiders too. Big crazy things.
Right? They would just be dangling, but
spiders up north are like as big as your freaking hand.
They're like mice.
I know. Then my father would go by and just pluck them off the wall because I'd get them wherever I could find them.
They're like tarantulas. They're like mini tarantulas up north.
And they swim and they climb buildings and they're
I'm gonna be scratching the whole time. Like spiders is one thing. Like John will say to me, you can't kill a spider, but you talk to dead people. Like seriously. And I'm like,
some spiders are okay. They stay out of my room. I'm all right. Just not in my little personal space. Not in the boudoir. That's all I'm saying. Not in the boudoir.
F out of my house, period. Spiders and centipedes, go away. I live in the country. It's not a good thing.
It's not a pretty sight. No.
You get spiders that look like small field mice. Like they're just
it's true. Or they eat small field mice. That's just nasty. Maybe we have a fantastic guest tonight. I'm really looking forward to this. He's just that one other piece of the puzzle to this whole group of people that we have that are working
Fascinating.
together. So Wayne Murphy, if you'd like to give a bio read to him, and we'll.
Yes, I will.
Hopefully,
Oh
I'm
my
sure
goodness.
he's
I just
waiting.
got into the whole spider thing, and I'm sure he doesn't care about spiders.
Yeah,
Probably
we're
handles
good.
them differently than we do.
I'm sure he
Wayne
does. It's because he's a nice man,
That's right.
not
Unlike
like these
me,
two
I'm a
redheads.
witch.
Yeah.
Wayne Murphy is a Mohican tribal elder. I can't wait. And founder of Team Templar North America. He is responsible for what may be one of the most significant historical finds on the Knights Templar here in North America, putting together an amazing team of researchers and at the top of their respective fields. Please welcome our special guest tonight, Wayne Murphy. Not yet, Joe. Thanks. Right as I'm saying it, not yet.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. Well, he is
That's
amazing,
great.
and he is coming on, and he's got
He
quite
is
the
coming
bio.
on. We're just waiting. Yeah, we're
He's
just waiting.
had quite an amazing career path, and he'll be talking about that. I don't want to give too much away, with the bio and that. So want to be able. Sometimes you can read a bio and you want the guest to be able to tell you that story. But
absolutely,
yeah, he probably saves spiders and releases them outside.
Yes.
Unlike
yeah,
me.
he's like the other Wayne. I'm actually going to see, maybe I sent this to him by his email. I'm going to send this here also, just in case. So sent to email.
Michelle's just contacting him. And if you're listening in and you're not watching and you're like, what are they doing?
I know, I'm sorry. It makes it look like I'm,
okay.
Looking around, but I'm thinking I sent this via email, but sometimes I'm not quite sure if, I might have said I could send it here or email. He might have said either. I chose one. Maybe he's expecting the other one. I don't know. So just in case.
It happens. But he will be with us shortly.
It does. It does. I'm always fascinated. He's a Mohican elder. Therefore,
Amazing.
he's going to share some stories of their folklore and legends and how they experience and deal with their ancestors and things like of that nature. I always find it so fascinating because some of, like, I'll just make mention here in Canada, we've got the Wendigo, for instance, which is this crazy beastie thing. And it's just, he's here. Okay, great. We'll let that go then. We'll just let that go.
We'll talk more about it as we go along.
Yeah. Perfect. I like it. So, Mr. Wayne Murphy, there we go. Hello. Hi. How are you? Can you hear us? Hello.
Is this mic on? I can't see.
I don't know. Can you hear us, Wayne? You see us? Hello.
Well, we can hear a dog barking. That's a big dog. It's not our house, so we can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear him.
We can hear us.
Okay, I'm going to go back on here, and I'm going to basically communicate that we can indeed see you.
And see.
Okay, so okay, we see you and hear you. Yes, there we go. Let's see how that goes. He's got to click on camera. Hello. Camera.
Oh, yeah, because at the bottom it has mute, stop, cam, mic.
Right. Well, I've just messaged. I don't know if he's going to see it or not, if it's going to send.
Okay, so he's playing with the buttons. That's a good sign.
And gone.
But it's just the camera. His connection is still there. So that's good. He's playing around. We just need you to click on your camera and
your mic.
Because now I don't hear anything. That's all we need. And then we can start this journey and continue from yesterday.
Hey, Dave. How are you? I don't know. Maybe we should knock him out.
Hi, Dave.
Dr. Evil.
Joe's
Oh,
here.
Jesus. So, okay, Dr. Evil, do you think we should maybe knock out the guest and bring him back? I know. Thank you.
Actually, it says his mic's on, but it's hard to say what's going on.
Groovy, baby.
Without seeing, yes, I am Dr. Evil before anybody asks. Don't piss me off.
He's such a
out.
teddy
All right,
bear. He's
then.
such a liar.
More than likely, he's going to have to go into the settings and see if his whatever he's listening to us, it might be set on something else. It didn't look like he might have been listening on speakers or earbud or something, or it might be wireless. That could be the problem too. Without seeing, I can't really say.
What if he hangs up and comes back?
He might. He can't
Okay,
hear, so
hold
I could walk him
He
through.
goes,
Michelle-
internet is
Michelle,
unstable. I'm so sorry.
Shit happens sometimes.
Okay.
Are you allowed to see that?
There you go. Good evening.
There you are. Can you see us okay?
He can see. He just can't hear us.
Yeah,
He can't hear us.
we hear you.
Okay.
Hello, Wayne. I'm Dr. Evil.
Oh,
I have put a spell on your laptop.
Dr.
not
Evil, you're
October
being a
yet.
pain in the butt.
You have to listen
Oh.
to things like that. You put Zachman, put my pinky to my mouth, $1 billion.
$1 billion.
I did that when you said
I
it.
can see you. But,
Absolutely.
the internet
Hey.
is just so
Yay!
it's just so bad.
We can't
Okay.
hear. Okay.
We can
He's
hear
got it's for his internet's sporadic, so he's gonna be lagging.
us.
Okay, so we can't hear you.
Yeah, I heard him for a minute.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's okay. Can you hear us? Can you
Are
hear
you
us
able to
okay?
connect with me at all?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. All right, we can hear you now. This is great.
Hello.
Is that working okay for you?
He's having a hard time hearing y'all though.
Yeah. Okay.
Dr. Evil.
Maybe try a different room or is he wired to
I don't know.
his internet? Because you might be able to work it. Sometimes you have a dead zone. Yeah, we need to keep talking though because
I'm so sorry. I don't know how to get it to work any better.
We can actually hear you.
Joe.
Dr. Evil, quiet it up. We can actually hear you. Can you hear us okay, though, Wayne? You can't hear us?
Yes, I'm coming for you.
Can you hear us? Okay. Can you hear us? I don't know if he can see us.
I can hear you all right.
Oh, we can hear you also. Are you,
You can't
getting
hear
a
me
delay?
though, huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you. Yes. Yes.
Can you see us?
Okay,
I hear all of y'all really well now, so
it is really
Yeah.
bad. We see you and hear you.
I wonder if he can see us though.
Can you see us? He's messaging right now. So this is
Okay.
just like kind of a little like mystery
It
mystery
happens.
thing. It does.
Can you hear me at all?
Yes,
Yes.
we can. Yes,
There's a lag.
absolutely. I'm just going to tell him there is a lag.
I can see you.
Okay. We can hear you. Can you hear us? Let's try that one.
We're just waiting right now. If you're listening, we're just waiting on our guests. A little
I
few
can see
technical
now called
difficulties
Dr.
going on
Evil.
here.
That's our producer standing
Great,
by. Yeah, standing by. Okay. Can you see Amelia and I?
you know he's texting me questions and let him answer them.
And I. Maybe we should just ask him to re-click the link. Maybe re-click the link. Re-click. Re-click. We will knock you out for a moment. Then you re-enter. I'll see what he says to that, as I know he sees it.
Yeah,
He says the internet's very unstable over there. It's really bad.
it's intermittent.
Yeah.
Intermittent. It happens when you're further out, rural.
Yeah, absolutely.
They use rural
I can hear you now.
in America. Oh,
Okay.
good.
Can you see us okay?
And
We're losing you.
Do not stare at the witches too long. You may turn into a frog.
You're going to turn into a dang frog.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Wow.
Okay. So you can hear us, you can see us, we hear you, we see you. Is that working okay for you there? Do you have a delay?
Huge. Yeah, that's
Hello?
a huge delay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And gone.
See what happens if maybe he saw your message too.
And maybe
up
he'll
and
try
come
back.
And we'll see what happens.
The internet's pretty bad there for him, so that'll
You're
be
listening,
A-okay. We'll see if he comes back in. So,
Yeah,
but
just got a
what I
few
was
technical
saying,
difficulties. That's all.
it could be. It could be. I am just trying to find a. No, I don't have it. I know how, I really hope that he can come in through. We can always reschedule if we have to, but I'm just dying to hear about this discovery of his. I'm dying to hear about, all of this folklore and legends, and he's going to talk about something called, what did he say? Cornhair.
Oh.
Legend of Cornhair. Yeah, they have some really interesting. Yeah, they have some really interesting legends and stuff, and
I
it's
love
like
their stories.
Oh, he's so interesting to listen to. Yes, I can see you both. I'll log in again. Okay. Of all nights, sorry. Of all nights, he says. Oh,
No, it's not his fault.
I know.
It happens. I know it happens with me, and we're on twice a week, and I go through that. Sometimes I freeze on this end, and you don't even know I'm freezing. How did I? Are you there? Oh, there.
I am here. I am.
Lost sound.
He's going to try to come back in. Yeah, I was just typing, so I didn't figure everybody wanted to hear me go click, 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 click.
Oh,
So
yes.
click, 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 click.
That's okay. That's okay.
But we have some pretty cool legends, up here as well, and there are a lot of indigenous legends here, like the Thunderbird, and of course we've got Sasquatch. We've got where we differ, I think, than in the U.S. The U.S. you guys have dogmen. We actually have they're just basically called loup-garou or wolf people. Loup-garou is French. And of course, in New Orleans, it's rougarou. And yeah, it's what they are instead.
French.
Yes. And we have, we just call them wolf people.
Okay,
or people.
Dr. Evil has to correct you.
Okay,
Dr. and
Evil.
the dog man has been stuffed and eaten. Just so y'all know, you can take them off your list.
Is there anything
I was hungry one night. I'm sorry. I got hungry. A friend of mine told me about a spell to call it rougarou. So I say, hey.
That's right, rougarou.
Sounds like something you could stuff, so what the hell? I called him up. He looked like he could be stuffed. Apparently, he was not bulletproof.
There's your little rougarou in the background just going off her freaking little peanut.
Yeah, the little rougarou.
Oh, I know, right? This guy, and I can't reach to mute my mic.
Oh my gosh. Now, I like folklore. We have some of the same stuff up here that you guys, you've got sightings of black cats in New Orleans. We have sightings of black cats, large black cats, by the way, panther type cats. Here in Niagara Falls, we had a story of a large black cat, a location I filmed at a few years ago.
Yeah, you ever see the movie Cat Night? What was it called? It was filmed in New Orleans.
Cat people?
It was the cat people, the ones that they ate somebody and they turned into a cat.
Oh no, that's no. Well, I'm talking. I think cat people with
What are you
David,
watching?
like David Bowie, had the soundtrack to
That
that.
was a
But there's
cool
also
movie.
one you guys had. What was that vampire show that you guys got? True Blood, and they were talking about
Oh,
things like that. I know,
that's a
but I
vampire
like how they
soap opera.
incorporated all the different
The
lore.
witches, well, I should say the voodoo people saw any big cats in Louisiana or people. They just
Right.
haven't killed anybody. They have to kill somebody to turn back into a human. They got to eat somebody whole.
That almost sounds a little bit like a folklore piece I'm working on right now for Grey Zone, actually.
It's
And
definitely
it's
a movie.
really
I'll have to sit
creepy,
down.
stupid stuff. And you're just like, unless they kill somebody, it's just like, oh, I can't even get into it. I don't have it all in front of me.
The movie was well weird, but anyway, if I can
There's
remember the
gotta
name,
be-
I'll send it to you. There,
There's
let me
gotta
see.
be
Wayne
some
is walk.
reality.
Let me let Wayne walk into the
Okay,
queue.
let's try it again.
Okay. Thanks,
Hello,
Jojo.
hello, Wayne. Is that you?
Hello.
What are you on, Joe?
Meds. Pain meds.
Oh no.
All
right.
Yay.
Doggy's
I'm
done.
back.
See you.
Can you see us? Hello. No, he's got really bad internet, I think.
Might have to reschedule. Oh, on Skype it would be worse.
Oh, Skype. Yeah, it
It
gets
would
a
be
little
worse
bit
on
hairy
Skype.
also. I
Yeah.
know.
Without bad internet, it gets hairy.
I know. I know.
Just on a regular day.
Uh,
We've done a few interviews on there. You have to pause and let them answer, and then pause to make sure they're done.
and gone. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll wait. He'll try it again. This location I was filming at, there was a mare that was killed by a large panther type cat while she was trying to save a foal. And there was one of the stables that had these long, big claw marks inside of them. And our Ministry of Natural Resources, which basically monitors wildlife and such, actually did a statement including that article of that event. And they have found, bones which could look like a large cat. Like they have, yeah, it's actually monitored up here. So it's one of those cryptid things, but it actually, it's monitored because they have found evidence of it, which I thought was really interesting.
Evidence.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
Evidence when you can't put, a name to what they found. That is serious.
It's hard. There's a lot of people, that get sightings of things. We talk about wolf people. There seem to be two different types up here. There's one that almost looks like it's really tall and it lopes when it runs, and it's got these big, long, awkward legs, and it's really thin, and it's got a really long snout. Yeah, almost like I would say coy wolf, but unfortunately it's just too big. Then we have others where people have said they've seen an animal loping, and then it just lopes into an upright position and continues walking. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I've heard of that stuff like everywhere. Like I had going back to, I remember about 10 years ago, a woman saying to me that she grew up in Elora, which is north of for anybody here in Canada. And I'll tell you something, like she grew up with tales of saying, visiting her grandmother at a really big farm. And she would say, do not walk along the edge of this property. Don't go near the forest because that's where the wolf people are. And she was just little, kind of going, oh, that's crazy. And when she became a teenager, she just, I'm just going to go walk down there and I'm just going to see what happens. So as she goes down there, she's probably 3/4 of the way to the edge of the property where the forest starts. And there were 5 beings. And as she inched closer, she could see that they looked like large dogs or wolves, and they were indeed walking upright.
That is crazy. Do you remember one of the paranormal shows? And I know it's the stories are Canadian. That they were the entire night they were tormented by these types of beings in their fields, like in the cornfields where their farm was. Do you remember seeing that?
I do remember something similar to that. And you know what? It's funny because I I did have somebody who I assisted over the last few years. You came on board the case when you joined up with
Yeah.
the organization, and there was something that was outside and circling the property. And when I researched it, I found only one document about a young 16-year-old boy who was in his house, and he made reference to a large wolf-type animal that walked upright that circled his house all night. All night.
Wow.
Brett Maverick is saying skinwalker. You know what? Some people.
This is really big.
Yeah, we have had sightings of that, though. We have had reports of sightings of skinwalkers up here. That's a little bit different. When you start getting into folklore and stuff with the skinwalker, that's almost like human shape-shifting or able to possess a human being, or basically it's like you have to sort of do this ritualistic thing that it's like kind of like a pact with the devil sort of thing, that certain shaman would do. But we have had research. Linda Carino, right, my colleague and paranormal survivor, she spoke of a case that she did in Georgina. Yeah, there we go. Shut up, Amelia. What about me?
You're the queen.
It's okay, Linda. We love you. I'm just being petty.
We're sharing.
Yeah, I'm just being petty. It's all right.
But your family.
But she did make a comment about a skinwalker report that was actually captured, they think, on security cameras from a local store. Like this was like a public place late at night that this sort of showed up at,
See?
And so
Big Brother sometimes works in your favor. Sometimes Big Brother's like what you need because you're catching things, But I feel like the reason why we do not have more captures because they are aware of the technology that's around and they kind of just, sling around it. But I don't know. I don't know about skinwalkers, but I mean, like a lot of, you don't find too many, I don't want to say ETs, but visitors from other galaxies and planets.
That's true.
And I believe there's a reason for that. Dr. Pink. Oh my gosh. I'm waiting for my ballot. It's supposed to be here before next week.
Oh my
voting. I'm not
gosh.
talking about politics. But that episode that I saw that show in, it was a group of these like dog beings. It wasn't just one. And you could see the eyes glowing. But then again, with television, we don't know how much of it is exaggerated, but it was quite interesting to watch.
Account, because a lot of those shows are somebody's account. Here in Niagara, we had an account of a person who he was at a stop sign or coming up to a stop sign, and he saw this, and again, I might have this backwards, but he saw this man almost behind a lamppost. And as he came to the stop sign, he was gone, and there was this large, like loping animal in its place. And, it's like, what the heck? He goes, oh, I didn't even go down. I stopped. I didn't even go anywhere near the stop sign. I'm like, that is freaking insane. Dr. Pink Pants the Skinwalker. I would say that Joe, our producers, are comic relief for the evening.
Yeah. And I just want to mention, Dave wrote, I would say a lot of these beings are interdimensional too, guys. They can dematerialize. Yes, we know that.
Agree.
But thank you for mentioning that. That is so true.
Yeah,
it's
I
just,
agree.
That's what I meant by they slink around. Michelle gets me because she talks to me every day. But sometimes I forget.
It's true.
My words are so different. I have my own language.
But I think when you're looking at interdimensional or parallel dimensions, and I think it even stems with ET. Why they just disappear so easily.
Right. Yeah. And even with Sasquatch and Bigfoot, you'll have a sighting and then all of a sudden not there. I was watching one of the paranormal shows our friend and has been a guest on here, Brian Cano, was on. Still Dr. Pink Pants, the Skinwalker. Okay. And I was watching one of the shows and they had these hikers just going up and they're videotaping their hike and everything. And all of a sudden there's this big thing that notices them and stays there. And automatically they went to the thought of not as a human being. It was so far away you wouldn't know. You could tell that the creature was very large and it wasn't human.
Mm-hmm.
And they just flipped out. Like it's all of them together seeing it. And I've never seen footage that good. Really surprised me. Not that good. What is Zach saying? I had a Navajo friend who has since passed away. I'm sorry for your loss, Zach. He would be open to talk about Navajo culture, but the conception of skinwalkers, he definitely wouldn't talk about. Why is that? Hi, Michael.
I'm not surprised. Hi, Michael. I'm not at all surprised about that because, even documentaries that I've watched on the topic, they're very edgy about it. They believe that they're being watched. They believe that certain things, these beings would be aware, and they don't want to bring, any ill will onto themselves or their families. So I completely understand that, quantum laws. Yeah. Oh God, we could get into a bunch of crazy. I know.
My eyes are so bad today.
Yeah.
That's exhaustion from computers.
That's okay. I could see it so clearly. Bad. I've got a huge screen, so that's no problem there.
No, I mean, I'm using a small laptop. It's 13 inches, but I should enlarge my screen that's within.
Yeah, I just the magnifier.
I keep forgetting.
I can see it. That's okay. That's okay. It's taboo in Navajo culture. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I wonder if that's what what Wayne was going to make mention of the corn hair thing. Father was attacked. Wow, Michael. My friend's father was attacked by a skinwalker, and he was driving at 65 miles per hour down the road to Shiprock, New Mexico. Come on.
Get out
That's
of here.
Insane. But
what
they do.
To him?
Apparently they need to keep killing, or they themselves eventually die. They need to that energy. They need that. Yeah.
Not that they consume it, just that they need to
there's
live off
something.
Off of
is it an energy thing?
Feed off that fear, right?
Crazy, Michael. Honestly.
Wow. What happened insane. To him?
Yeah, Michael, what happened? Don't just leave us hanging. What is that?
Oh, you missed it. I'll be texting you all night. What happened?
I know.
But we talked about this before. Yeah.
I know. It's crazy.
I've never heard of anyone being attacked.
You
you hear sightings, you hear about them, you see them on the shows, but you never hear attack. Maybe because they don't live through it to tell you, and we don't know that they're being we really don't know. There's so much being hidden, but Michael, we need to know. Start typing.
That's right. Don't be messing around. Portal at Shiprock. I've been there too, Dave says. See, look, there's a whole other show going on. As we wait for Wayne, hopefully his internet will come back up and we can get a job. Yeah. Otherwise, guys, people, we will reschedule Wayne. He's having a lot of internet issues. We will just reschedule him. Worst case scenario, we will pre-record him and get him on if we have to. So,
we might have to Dave.
Voices in the air. He said that the thing was clawing out at him and his eyes were glowing and was starting to get him, but his door was locked. When he finally got down the gallop, he went to a gas station. He saw claw marks and blood on the door of his truck. And then Zachman says, allegedly, for someone to become a skinwalker, part of the ritual is that they need to murder someone special to them. That's right, like a sibling or a parent. It has to be somebody very, very close to them in order to remove an emotional attachment. That's right.
Did you research that, Zach, as a teacher, or did you get that off
friends
Supernatural?
Told him that, yeah. It's funny because I've researched the same thing.
Supernatural, but there's a lot. They did that on Supernatural.
I've totally researched the same thing. Dave says aliens in the clouds, native heads in the clouds. Yeah, there is, man, voices in the air. Yeah, there's a lot out there. There's so much that we can't even pretend to understand about this planet, this universe.
There's so much of it uninhabited. How can you?
Well, for sure. And there's so many belief systems that are involved with that too. For example, I these ETs, there's that whole, these cryptids, there's that whole theory that they just come from other planets, that they've been brought here through other times. But I think, maybe it was just a blend that's always been here. Michael, there are Navajo sites from northern New Mexico that have frequent stories of skinwalkers.
I'm laughing at you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr.
I'm
JT.
Justin Trudeau, and I love the Outer Realm. We'll put that in his campaign. He's only got one more week of commercials.
And then David says, they say entire herds of buffalo disappear from Shiprock and show up 100 miles away. That's like a freaking portal time slip. The internet would never lie to me, Amelia.
Lie to me, Amelia. If it's on the internet, Zachman, it has to be real. Just saying.
Oh, stop it, Joe.
Joe.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Here. Honestly, somebody's feeling a little bit
He's on
ornery
something
tonight.
I don't know. I think.
Yeah, I want what he's on. Let's just saying. Oh my God.
I'm gonna kill him. Because see, he's doing this on purpose.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is fascinating. I mean, if so many of these beings are coming in and out of portals, is it a time slip? Is it parallel dimension? Is it, as Joe would say, dimensional bleed through? So that could be a thing. Skinwalkers. Yeah, absolutely,
Yes,
Greg. We are totally on the whole skinwalker thing right now. They're fascinating, but they're scary. Like when I think of, like, I mean, right now we have Skinwalker ranches out there. I personally really enjoyed the series, and I love all the technical scientific stuff that they're doing. But honestly, if they're there, they're around the whole area. I mean, crying out loud, if we have them up here, we're like a million miles away from them. Shiprock is a leading producer of uranium. Yeah, there you go. Tell me that doesn't.
That's a fascinating tidbit. Talk about
amping
things up.
That could be something to factor in with, what that
It's
would
like
do. It's like an Island of Dr. Moreau sort of thing. Right? I know. Every now and then I got something good. I know.
I miss him. Yeah, that is so crazy. But skinwalkers, I think because of so much of the unknown that it creeps me out a lot, because we know so much about other things, like a lot. It's inundated on the internet and on television. And skinwalkers, you have the ranch, and then you have a few sightings and stories here and there. And I think that's what part of the intrigue is too. But a lot of
if you're talking to indigenous people,
that's a different story.
If they're willing to talk, there really are a lot of stories out there, and they just don't want to talk about it. I don't blame them.
Not to give life to it, or is there something about the energy? Like I wish Wayne was on, but we will ask him when he comes on.
We absolutely will. I don't even know if that's something that is within the Mohican culture.
I don't know.
Like he's up in Wisconsin, that might be a little bit different. I'm really hoping that we will reschedule you, Wayne, if you're listening, because we were looking forward to it. And of course, the internet goes down a show night. It's happened to the best of us, believe me.
Happened to us. Just saying.
Yeah, there we go.
After driving to a station for 2 hours, it's happened.
No, I know. I'd give anything to be on Skinwalker Ranch. I'm sure you'd have a lineup there too. And Zach, man, the Navajo overall are very spiritual people. If people claim to have had visions of dying, they take that seriously. It crosses over into both politics and spirituality.
Wow.
Yeah,
thanks,
I could definitely see that. Yeah.
You should teach.
I could see that. What?
What? Zach, you should teach. He used to be a teacher. It's just a little...
there we go. It's all in the topic matter, I think. So it's all in the topic matter.
Yeah, it would be really interesting to learn more. And if we're speaking about it, is it taboo for some of them in different cultures? I would love to learn and understand so much more about them, and why are they here? Are they just always been here? Like, why are they here? Yeah. Hi, Dr. Ball is with us. Dr. Kathleen Ann Ball. Hi.
Yeah, bad internet. He couldn't connect. Internet. I think we're going to have to reschedule. We're just hoping he'll pop back on. He's got the link. If his internet can stabilize, we'll definitely, get on topic. Yeah. Otherwise, it's a reschedule for sure.
In the meantime, we're just talking creepy stuff. But
I know.
Halloween is It's October's a month away.
I know. Already, it's going quick. I know, but
Yes.
I always leave a few little spaces open here and there just to be able to reschedule people. So
Yes.
we'll make sure we get him on.
We've got all those creepy vibes going.
Looking
for
forward to
October,
hearing
which is
him.
so cool. Yeah,
So were we. So were we.
Yes,
We were
were
really
very
looking forward to
excited.
it. So Wayne and I have
Yeah.
actually, chatted about this, months back, and had a whole format planned out and everything, and it would have been good. I just really wanted to let him go with anything he wanted. Greg,
Thanks,
the
Greg.
creepy
Us
stuff,
too.
yeah. Welcome to my life. I've spent 18 years working in the paranormal, and I've seen a lot of things. I've had people share a lot of interesting stories with me, cryptid stories, paranormal stories, UFO stories, just old folklore stories. People have had, like fairy sightings, sending me pictures, and, troll-like things. Honestly, it is one thing is just, it's never boggled my mind that much to see this mix of everything, but it really is out there. But whenever you say, like, the buzzword, oh, the unknown, there have been a couple of people who I know, and I won't comment on too much. Well, it's just a stupid word. Well, then, then they themselves have used it, and you're like, but it is the unknown. What else would you like to call it? Exactly. Let's just try to think of another word for unknown, just because the buzzword just drives you crazy. But
Yeah.
I prefer, even otherworldly, something that just is out of the norm.
Oh,
Maybe that's the way to put it, out of the norm. There are things that come here that
yes, and
there's no explanation for it.
unexplainable. Yes, unexplained. There's one word that the two of us both dislike very much, and that's the word debunked.
Debunked. Debunked is,
It's wrong. It's
but
so wrong.
I don't. I'm totally okay with it when it's not being used as a gimmick for a show. It almost seemed like, for a while, the debunk was the thing to do. Debunk everything. Even shows that weren't debunking. It's okay if you got a show, that's their thing. But then all of a sudden, everybody else is following along.
Everybody's using that coin term by them.
Because somebody really close to me who has a really haunted location agreed to a film, for a show to come in, and very last minute came the whole debunk nonsense, and it was just like, are you kidding me right now? And I'm thinking, it's all of this. There's got to be a gimmick. Every show's got to have a gimmick. If it doesn't have a gimmick of some sort, you're not doing anything.
It's really sad when you have a real location like hers, though. Like not to give the respect to such a historical place.
It is
so sad.
Absolutely. I'm okay with debunking. I have a pretty rational mind. I always go through the process of elimination to try to make sense of, whether it's my experience or somebody I'm helping, their experience, to try to figure out exactly, what exactly is causing the event. Again, mindset too, telekinesis, psychokinesis. Like, there's a lot of things you have to factor in. It's not so cut and dry. And no to Tombstone, unfortunately.
No, and notice Tombstone's never been debunked or tried to debunk.
Mm-hmm.
Some things just really, they never try to do that with the historical places. That's something that I've noticed. They've never tried to do that.
Right.
It's interesting that they don't.
No, but there's some places that you just can't. They just keep delivering. A lot of researchers think you're going to sit there and, and these things are just going to, act on demand and show up and do backflips and knock on the wall. Okay, here we go.
And another thing, a lot of these shows are only there for 2 days or 3 days at the most. And sometimes you need to sit there. They don't come to you because they're calling you. Not even a great medium cannot pull someone forward just because you want to talk to them. So you have to be realistic about that. How do they interface with the hidden dimensions, Kathleen? Oh, I missed Kathleen's comment.
The indigenous Amazonians in Brazil live the unknown every day. They're so in tune. There we go. Look at Joe's right on the ball. Perfect. Now you can all see it. Oh, okay. Wayne said he's back, actually.
Oh.
Let's try to let him in and see what happens. We won't have a whole lot of time, but
They are so
okay, let's
immune
try
to
again.
government.
They showed me a whole new way to relate to the worlds, both other dimension and 3D. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Very cool.
Absolutely fascinating. So, okay, Wayne is in the green room. Let's see if we can bring him through.
Let's try.
Device is not
Device not working.
working.
Aww.
Device is not
Okay.
working.
Thanks,
He
Joe.
says, okay, he says he's back. Device not working. I got nothing. That's just like everyday life, just like we would relate to anything that you interact with every day, like Mandela effect.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So device is not working. I guess he's not in the green room then. He says he's back. Okay. I don't know. But at that point, I'd rather give him a full couple of hours. Kate Walker, some of the shows I've seen seem very close to the concept that people may have different experiences based on their own energy. So if they don't experience anything that can be recorded with their technology, they say debunked. You're right. It's true.
Mm-hmm. It's really
true.
sad because, you have to think about how you're affecting that person emotionally and mentally by telling them that, no, it's not here, but maybe it was at the time. So it's a really, I think it's a harsh way to speak to someone, to tell them that they're not experiencing something that they totally believe, and there's no background of any mental health disorders or any medications to cause hallucination.
Yeah.
And everything has to come, perfectly clear where it can only be that. I think it's really harsh.
It's
you have to
hard.
be very gentle with someone.
You do, and
like
through personal experience with someone that we've assisted, I'm just going to say, where do credentials actually come in? Where somebody can say to another person, yes, you do have to ask the hard questions like medication and mental health, and you do, because you can really, your mindset is everything. You can really let it run away with you. And, these people were having all kinds of experiences. Things were following them back home. They were really having bad experiences, right? And you know what? They basically said to her, no, you're on medication. This didn't happen. But these same people asked if she would go on and do a TV show with them, one of my shows. And I just kind of went, what? Are you new? You can't, it doesn't work that way. There's just a lot of silliness. And Kathleen, multidimensional worlds, telepathy are common, healing diseases. Yes, absolutely. And Wayne.
And
go ahead, Amelia.
Can I read Wayne? Because Wayne's my big bro. Hi, Wayne. Just saying.
Living in a haunted house.
I can see it. Yeah, I've been living in a haunted home for years, and in those years, I've only had a handful of experiences. To expect to have a full-blown paranormal experience is only a few hours is unrealistic. Amen. Thank you.
Absolutely. And with that being said, we've actually had people film in this house and spend the night, other TV shows where coins were dropping from the ceiling. And
right?
people are looking, going, they're picking up coins. And we're just sitting there kind of going, or, you're down here and there's walking around upstairs and they're looking at you going, is there anybody in the building? We're like, no, just us.
Yeah.
Doors will swing right open right in front of you. I've had like multiple experiences in this house,
I believe
voices.
Sometimes. Your house is like very active, especially of the last few years. I mean, I've only been there the last few years, but it's very active.
Yeah.
I remember being at Michelle's house and saying, "Oh, your black cat is so cute," just trying to jump on the table. It's like, we don't have a black cat. And I'm like,
yeah. None
it was my
such cat.
first time here. And I'm like, no, there's a black cat that just jumped up and over and was walking into the kitchen. What do you mean you don't have a black cat? Like, I was a little freaked out. But anyways, nickels true. Everywhere. It's really nice.
That was the day people were filming. Nickels were dropping all over the place.
I think that sometimes, just the energy of everybody who's there and the openness sometimes can just really make them feel comfortable to say, hey, I'm here. Can you see me?
Well, and they really like these guys, because they were sort of comedic in a way, and they were running around, they were joking around, and it was sort of like a bit of a skit thing. And the spirits were really having fun with it, because we always would tell them, okay, this is what's going on. And there were some people that would come to film, and oh my God, the house got really, really quiet. And then it would stay quiet for days. They just didn't like them. So needless to say, they weren't allowed to come back. Yeah. You know.
See, you're so respectful, you know, of your surroundings and the home. So it's very important. People have to remember, these are disembodied voices. These are people. These are souls.
Yeah.
And you can't be. If somebody came into my house and say, "Hey, where are you? What's your name? What do you want?" I'd be freaking out. So you have to remember that when you're doing an investigation or whatever kind of communication that you're working at.
So let's hypothetically say it is a parallel dimension. Let's just play with Joe's theory a little bit. What if it's a parallel dimension? So let's say, you know, because you do have cases where people will see a spirit and they might, like a loved one, it might look a little bit different. What if it's another dimension and you're just stepping into that dimension for like a moment?
Right.
Like this house, how many people have said over the years, your house has no walls, things come in and out. I believe there's dimensional shifts that have happened here. We know we've experienced time slips just through communication devices, though not with us, like stepping back that we know of. I mean, you know, it's just, it's really, really strange.
We don't really know. And Wayne said ghosts were people too. Yes.
That's
and
true.
I don't know
That's true.
they're not their spiritual body to some, like for me, who's a medium, the boss is always saying,
oh my God.
You'd have to prove that. But, you know,
don't get me started. He'll come back with a new tag name.
Who's a medium. So. I can see people the way they were when they lived here, you know, when they were living on this physical plane, I'll say. Right. So it's just,
it's really interesting.
A really interesting concept. Yes, it is.
And parallel universes you can have several that exist within one space, for example. And it's like listening. It is like listening to a radio station. You can only listen to one at a time, one frequency at a time. Mm-hmm. Right? Have you ever tried hunting your own house if your daughter committed suicide? Ooh.
You mean investigating?
Have either of you tried your own house if your daughter committed suicide? No, I would actually not investigate. I don't even investigate spirits or houses that have the death. Just for what reason? You know, there's a spirit there that needs help. Move them on. It feels like a sideshow. I've had so many researchers through the years that I've helped, especially in the last couple years when Amelia came on, because we could do it much faster together.
No names.
And people want to go investigate and they get themselves in trouble. They need assistance, or worse yet, they go to locations. They just want that evidence, the EVP. They've done things like that. And they leave the spirit behind. I'm like, oh, great. Did you get your EVP? Oh, that was a great one. Okay. And then I said, should the spirit not be moved on? Like, you're just kind of leaving this little child hanging? No comment.
My gosh,
no comment. Nothing gets, there's no comment. And then, as time goes along, oh, I think something's come in. I'm like,
Yeah, I'd be the first one moving them across. I'm just saying.
I know.
I tell people Greg, too, I hope you're not used to this, because I'm going to make sure that they have the choice to make whether or not they want to be here.
Greg says he tried. Greg, have you lost someone? Or was this just a friend's location? Or
yeah, we might be able to help him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
He says, yeah, he's tried to investigate. Yeah, I wouldn't investigate it. Yeah, it's a really difficult thing, because you're still dealing with people, just no longer within the physical.
But if it's a loved one.
Yeah, and the essence is still very much, the person is the essence. The physical, it's just like, I used to ghost hunt with her. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Really sorry. So sorry. Yeah. Do you have concerns Like, is this something we can help you with? If so, please just message us at the Outer Realm for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
She loved it.
She
Oh,
loved it.
absolutely.
Oh, I wouldn't
Absolutely.
doubt that she'd be trying to contact you then. You might
They
not
might know
ever
what they
know
are.
what they're.
No, for sure.
No, that is
Absolutely.
true, and it happens a lot with children's spirits. I really, really, really gravitate towards children for some reason, and they find me. But children often, if they haven't had a loved one that's passed away or don't recognize them, they won't go into the light. They're scared. They don't know that they've passed away. They get stuck. So it's so important to really help them along and get them across to their family. I find that a lot of them, when the grandparents are still alive, are always stuck when they've
That's
passed
funny.
away young, right?
An adult
Yeah,
child.
because they
Right.
just don't, they're afraid of everything. They're like, where am I? And time doesn't move for them, and they're just there.
Right.
So, and there's almost like an amnesia. You have to speak to them so that they can remember what happened, and you have to do it very gently, because you don't want to panic them and freak them out where they're hiding from you after. You want to get them out of that ether, so to speak, and help them. She was 25 years old. I am so sorry, Greg. My heart
very
goes
sorry.
out to you. But like Michelle said, if we can help you, please just send, talk to Michelle.
I think, Kathleen says you need the permission to help them cross. I think if they're aware that they're deceased, it's a lot easier to get their permission. I've come across many spirits who have, with sudden death, they don't realize they're actually deceased. They basically think they're still trying to get your attention. They've just been bounced out to the point where they're just not aware that they're gone, and you're trying to explain that they're gone. Now, some spirits will leave on their own if you just make them realize you're deceased. This is what happened to you. Then they think about it, and it's almost like they can remember it and go, oh.
That's
but
what
other
I mean by
times they
talking to
won't. They're in
children.
denial.
Children,
Yes.
you have to be really gentle
Yes.
with them, and
Yeah.
you have to talk to them, and it's stuff that it's stuff that I've done with children who have passed or in the crime cases and stuff like that, who've been murdered or kidnapped and then murdered or gone missing or whatever. And I talk to them, and I already know how they passed, and I have that conversation with them, and I take them back gently to where they were. And it takes a lot of time. It takes days. It's not something that
it depends
happens
too.
in one try. Well, with the traumatized children, right?
Sure.
The cases, it's a little bit
See,
different.
the
You have to
cases
think of it like
are a bit
life,
different,
right? Yeah.
It's not like they died with their family.
But
They're
I have
waiting
to
for a
say,
parent, right?
no, the trauma is different. But I have to say, with what we've experienced together in the last few years, we've never had a soul that we didn't cross, that we attempted to cross. We've never had that instant where we couldn't. What if you have to hold her as she let out? Oh,
that would be horrific, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
Sorry.
You would have had the opportunity at that point to make her aware of what was happening. It's a very delicate situation when someone takes their life, because some of them remain in that. I mean, think about how low you have to be feeling for that moment in time to do something like that. Sometimes they remain in that state. Other times, do they feel that relief? I think in the case where they are with a loved one who is comforting them and able to say it's okay, just do this, then they will. But a lot of people who do that will usually go to a place, correct me if I'm wrong, where they can be by themselves to do it. I mean, I've known so many people throughout my life through the many years who have done that, and it's always been someplace crazy and remote. They want to make sure, if they're serious, that this is going to be a
there
thing.
won't be stopped.
Exactly.
Yeah, they won't be stopped. They have that fear, because when somebody makes that choice, and I had one mother who found her son hanging in the shed, and that took a few days to go through. It was a very delicate situation, and
Absolutely.
I did, because she was an hour away from me, what I did was I had spoken with her and had her speak to him while I was connected with him from here.
Which is
And
which
it
is
was the
perfect.
best thing, and everything
Yeah.
was said that needed to be said. She understood there was no foul play. Because that was a concern, and she understood what had happened and that he just wanted to end that pain
That pain.
that he was going through. It's a very delicate situation. I've worked with so
it's
many
difficult because you can
suicides.
get into past life traumas too, imprints,
and
and
that's not
you
a
don't
strength
know
for
what
me.
comes back with you. It's
No,
sort of
and
one of life's cruel jokes is you're not really allowed
yeah, and
to
I would never
remember.
attempt. I
Yeah.
would never attempt to try and understand that. So I only do what I can do and give as much comfort as what we do. We give as much comfort as we can to families.
Kathleen says one situation she had a child, felt tremendous amount of guilt for letting his mother down. See, that's it too with people who take their lives. They do hang out because of that guilt. Wanted me to promise I would tell his mom he loved him and that he was very sorry. When I agreed, he crossed with no issue. And Greg, thank you. Still love listening to you. Thank you so much. Kate, I'm so sorry I've struggled with those feelings myself. It was never about a lack of love for anyone else. It was very hard to reach someone in that place. It's true.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Yeah.
And I've been there as a teen. I've been there twice, where I tried with myself. And that's why I understand that part of it. And everyone that I've communicated with on the other side that has done something, a lot of them where maybe have jumped off of like the Brooklyn Bridge, we'll say, long drop.
Yeah.
And I've come across them. If they have said the minute they let go,
they
thought, oh crap. Yeah,
true.
it changed.
Yeah,
And
it is very difficult.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's so sad. And it's hard for everybody. It's hard for everybody. Yeah. It's hard.
Greg says, helps you're all willing to listen to me. Absolutely.
Anytime.
Thank you for sharing it. It's a very personal experience. And can I reiterate, if there's something that you feel we can do for you or for her, if you're looking maybe for answers, please just message us. We're happy to help you. Maybe it just sort of finalizes things for everyone,
maybe we can
I think everybody has, for the most part, knows at least one person throughout their lives who may have contemplated it or, talked about it. And in my case, I can't tell you how many people, that I know personally, that extended family or friend.
Oh, you're freezing up on me.
Really,
there you are. Okay.
Yep. It gets really crazy. And I think I'm just happy to have found this live stream. We're happy also.
You know what? I believe that we
don't always get to do this though. Sometimes we have guests and it's about our guests, but tonight is definitely more of an uncut sort of off cuff conversations.
So there's a reason for everything.
There is. But I do think, coming across people do not want to over, what's everybody's thoughts on this? You do have people who have functions. It's how they make their living. They offer a place for people to safely go and do spirit research. Spirits here are not stuck. So they come, they go, they're not grounded here. They just love it here. And we would inform them, and we haven't filmed it since the pandemic. Basically we would say to them,
just to really sorry. I don't know if it's me or you because you keep freezing. It might be me. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. But they are. Okay, it's got to be me. Huh. Weird. Okay. Just texting because I can't hear anything. You are all alone, but you still have me. You are so funny. Take that screen off now. We have to get Michelle back. I just messaged her, but I was going to say, you know, the whole thing with crossing over, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have them back in your place. You have to cross them over for that respect and give them that peace, and then allow them to have that choice and that decision on whether or not they would like to come back and visit with you. Okay, Michelle can hear me. What happened? So weird night, guys. Yes, thank God I have you guys in chat. It is a tough conversation, but Greg, honestly, I really believe that you were put there so that, you know, the stream was put there in your path so that you can get the help and the answers that you need, and we'll be more than happy to do that for you. Just contact Michelle, and we'll see what we can do. Sometimes we can ask questions, and you know, there's times where we get answers for you. But I'm so sorry for your loss and everything that you've gone through. I can't imagine as a parent how you deal with something like that. So Kathleen says, you know, we have some powerful solar flare activity right now. No, I wasn't aware of that. That probably would affect her. But Michelle can hear me, but we don't see her. So Michelle, if you can hear me, can you try getting back on the link? Because Joe has me on a big screen and I'm not comfortable. Greg, it happens. Yeah, sadly it does. I did that when I was younger. I got very close to it happening with me. It's not easy, and you never go to that place to hurt anyone. It's about healing and ending stuff for yourself. So know that, you know, you love her very much, and she's well aware of it, and it's nothing that you could have changed or could have stopped. I hope you understand that and know that, and I hope that you can find some healing. But I would stop trying
There we
to
go.
contact her. Oh, thank God. Joe put me on the big screen, but I was just saying to Greg that
I could hear everything. Yeah.
oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
But I
Solar
honestly believe the
flares.
stream was put in his path just so that he could have this conversation with us, and maybe we can help him.
I don't believe in coincidences at all. So I definitely think that's a strong possibility that here you are. And maybe it's her. Maybe she's putting you in touch with us, and this is the best way she could think of doing it.
Mm-hmm. But I would refrain from trying to reach out right now. I know it's hard, but I would refrain from trying to reach out right now just until you know what you're dealing with and what's around you. Mm-hmm. Unless you're a medium or a psychic and you can see, then that's a different story. But oftentimes we have to be concerned about what we're communicating with and who it is, and make sure it's them.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing too, because grieving can open up doors to things that like to mimic our loved ones, and it's one way that darker things come in. They like to feed off that energy. They like to amplify that. They like to infiltrate. We've worked with many people through the years who have fallen into that situation, and it's been really, you know, it's very trying because people so desperately want that sign. They so desperately want to talk to their loved ones, and at the end of it all, you just have to be very, very careful. Some of the worst cases I've done have come from, you know, people grieving their loved ones. So always, you know, be careful. Kathleen got a pop-up that says geometric storm alert issues for Earth after coronal mass ejections. Wow. Solar flares. I've been hearing a lot about that.
That's why Wayne had problems.
It could be.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's what it is. Absolutely. I've been afraid to reach out to someone I lost 6 months ago because I'm still fragile. Yeah, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's definitely something that you have to if you are frightened at all, you want to completely back off from that until you're comfortable, until you know for sure, you know. It's really difficult. It affects electronics. It affects a lot of things. I've been
Makes
hearing a
sense.
lot about solar flares, you know, and how they're supposed to get a lot worse. If that,
Yeah.
you know, can you imagine we're all down? But just like we're so reliant on technology.
They're serious, those flares. That's some serious stuff, man. Like,
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
so,
So I don't know, man, but you know, I'm plugged in directly. Also, I'm not on Wi-Fi. Would you be able to
no.
send me a link to that site? Yeah, share it up, Kathleen.
You
Share up
can
that
on
link.
Facebook. Yeah, we can't do it
No,
on YouTube, but you can share it on Facebook.
yeah, we
That's
can
not
still
a
take it.
problem.
Yeah,
Wow, isn't that interesting?
it is
I'm
definitely
learning
interesting.
sitting here. This is really
Try
cool.
the
I love this.
internet.
I love everybody sharing.
Greg, you're very welcome. Like I said, feel free to contact us. Outer Realm Contact at gmail.com or Facebook. You can go to the group
Or you,
page.
yeah, and
Yeah,
message.
it's all good. You know, we'll definitely get it taken care of if you
Put you
need
on the
anything
road to
else.
healing. Yeah.
But yeah, mass ejection. But I don't know. You know, I find with people in the paranormal, eventually they do tend to gravitate out to different things because you see things bleed into one field into another. I've worked with a lot of people who have had alleged. I always say alleged because um, you know, demonic activity tends to be it's a word that gets thrown around a lot.
Mhm.
And there are a wide variety of different entities out there. Shadow people are just as big of a culprit, you know, and misunderstood too after having Mike Rixiger on here, like very understood, you know. And then we have a lot of people who truly believe that there are no such thing, that this is a Christian thing, that you really are dealing with extraterrestrials. And I'm thinking, okay, that's a possibility. I've heard more and more people say that, and I'm just like, there are a great degree of extraterrestrials that could definitely resemble some of the things that people see. But I also believe that we live in a time where we are very, very stressed, that the world is in an entirely different place, and that your mindset tends to be, let's just put it this way, we are very strong, powerful beings. We can do a lot of things. Okay, Mr.
Joe.
Man, bleed through. Yeah. I don't doubt it's a bleed through in some cases. But I also believe that people project out energy when they feel stressed or scared. And we've come across people who, you know, when you project energy, you can get doors to open and close. You can project things like walking around, like poltergeist activity. There's a lot that you can do. Settle down the mind, you get rid of the activity, and we've seen that multiple times.
I learned that from her. Just saying, freaked me out. I couldn't believe it. Like, wow, you can do that.
That's pretty phenomenal.
You just don't realize how strong your energy is. You don't have to be a psychic to project energy. I think that's the biggest lesson to take from that, because it's amazing what you can do.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I like Dave's perception. Anything you can think, it can exist. All life forms.
Absolutely. Law of attraction too, right? Okay,
do you think we live in a matrix, Dave? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Do you think we live in a matrix?
Tell her. She needs to know.
I
everybody give your opinion on that one, because we're very interested in that.
It is a really big thing. A lot of people do believe in something that sits above and controls everything, that we do, you know, are we, you know, this mindless, well, I won't say mindless, but if we are, yes, virtual reality. Well, shit, Dave, thanks.
You know, I'm not paying that fine between you and Joe. I'm not paying that fine, but
oops.
I want to do a quick.
Let's do it
before we continue.
Let's do
quick
it. Yeah.
Station ID. You're
Yeah.
listening to The Outer Realm with Michelle Desrochers and myself, Amelia Pisano. And sadly, we had some technical difficulties. I can't even speak.
Technical
So our
difficulties.
special guest, Wayne Murphy, will be rescheduled and will be joining us again sometime soon. And we'll let you know when. We are hoping to be live in New Orleans, the beautiful city of New Orleans, live on 105.3, streaming for you on UFO Paranormal Radio, UFO Gods and Extraterrestrials. I got it. International Public
Woo.
Radio. I got it. And UPRN Talk Radio coming back soon. Fully sponsored tonight and every night by the amazing folks at Folgers Coffee. No one loves you more than Michelle and I. Thank you so much.
Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
So Dave, you've been holding out on us. He is an astrologer.
I was just talking to the one that we have coming up in September.
There we go.
Just messaged me.
There we
I was
go.
confirming
Master
with her.
control system in this solar system. It's like,
Very cool. See, Dave, and I said earlier in the show, we need to book Dave.
yeah, there we go. Well, we can
Yes.
do that. We can do that. It
Yes,
would be
Dave.
really cool to pick your brain, so to speak.
If you're interested.
And Greg,
Hi.
I am sorry, Greg. I believe in nothing. It's not uncommon to stop believing when you lose someone close to you because nothing makes sense. It makes no sense. You feel a tremendous deep hole, and somehow you have to reframe that. You need to make sure she's okay, and then you need to start living for not just yourself but for her. Because she would never want this for you.
It's so true, and I wish I would take my own advice because I have that with my dad, having lost him in November. And Michelle's often telling me, and today Maria said to me, I know you love him and you miss him, but she knew my dad very well. In fact, she would visit him when I was away.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to me, she goes, this would just break his heart. And I'm like, oh my God. And I just started crying. I go, it's true. It's
That's
true.
true.
And I said, but Dad, I don't care. I need to go through what I need to go through.
It's a different process for everyone, but
it's a different process with every loss. Losing my mother was different. Losing my brother was different. This is his daughter.
Yeah.
That is hell in a handbasket to start with.
Oh, I can't imagine. A parent is not supposed to outlive a child.
No,
it just doesn't seem natural.
No, and my father buried 2 children before he died at the age of 90. He had tremendous guilt living at an old age, and I remember that with him. And and then losing her the way you did is just another different thing that you have to cope with and have to heal from. But there is no rules to mourning and to healing, and Michelle's often said to me, there's no time limit. You just do what you have to do, and and everybody's different. I remember with my brother, it was like 6 years before I even,
and I had to
exactly the fact like that I had lost him. I had to go through therapy. I realized, like, just woke up one day 6 years later after taking care of everybody, oh my God, Mike's gone. Like, it was crazy, and it's surreal.
But do you find that one day you just wake up and you go, okay, I'm done. I'm ready now. And I want to move forward, because you're moving forward for you. You're moving forward for your loved one. Here's how I think the best way to look at it. The body is like a vehicle. If the vehicle stops working, you're still going to find another way to get to work. You're going to find a way to get around. When the body stops working, the essence, which is what makes up the individual, is your soul energy. That's what's inside you. That's what holds your memories. That's what holds your emotion. Energy goes back to energy. It just goes back into the collective, the universe. Wherever that place may be is different for everyone, but you don't lose that person. That person still hears you. Yeah. Some people are gifted and they can still communicate, and some people not so much. Sometimes people who are blinded by the grief and they just stop listening. Absolutely. They don't pay attention to the signs that are being left. So sometimes they'll try to do something drastic to get your attention or to change things.
Like pop up in your back seat of your
Something
truck.
like that. Yeah.
Something
Saying,
while you're
hey.
driving on the highway. Yeah, I did wake up one day with him, but I think the best thing I can do, as you said, is to live for him.
Right.
And one thing I said to you once, every death in my life that I've had to experience, very close loved one, I've come out of it with something positive every single time.
Right.
I was grateful. My mom and I had a rough relationship growing up because of the age difference between us. And I was grateful for the last few years before she died. Just having that relationship, understanding a little bit differently. With my brother lived a good life, a full life. He played hard. He worked hard. He just was always happy and always smiling. And I thought, my God, you know what? Life is too short. I need to experience a little bit more. I need to stop being so hard on myself.
But then you have this guilt because you're alive. I think those who grieve have a guilt of being, first off, you're left behind. So there's a little bit of anger, like you left me. But then there's also that guilt of moving on. You don't want to move on because it's like, you feel that you can't move on, and you do get depressed, and the guilt can, make it difficult for you to feel good about yourself. How can you feel good about yourself if you don't even feel good to be living in a place? You can't imagine yourself living in a place without that person, but you don't realize that person is still there.
Yeah. And as a medium, your guilt is, why didn't I see it? Why didn't I see this? But when you look back, you realize that you just didn't pay attention because maybe it was too frightening or maybe it was just too much. So you go through those things as a medium. Like mediums go through a different type of mourning than the average, than I would say normal people. I don't know what normal is, but you know what I mean? Like when you're gifted, it's just a different guilt. I should have seen that. I should have. For sure. You go through all those kinds of things. Why didn't I pay attention to this? And why didn't I talk to him about that? But I can say, honest to God, my brother, my mother, my dad, no regrets at all. And that's what gets me through it. So the best advice I can give is live fully with them. Spend as much time as you can with them. Don't put things off tomorrow that you can do today. The old adages,
And watch the signs.
Absolutely.
Watch
Pay attention.
The signs.
And you will not, at the end, you have to celebrate the way they live their life and pick out all of the good things and celebrate them all the time and keep talking about them. It really does feel like they're there. It really does.
Exactly. There's always going to be those things that remind you of that person. Embrace it and go out and do it. In Greg's case, you used to like going to do paranormal investigating together. Go do it. And she'll tag along, you're just going to do it in a different way. Kathleen says she loves hearing Beethoven's Fifth on the car because it reminds you of that. Exactly.
Right? What a beautiful piece.
It is. It is a beautiful piece.
Everything
so we all find little things that do remind us. Look for the signs, but don't focus so much on it that you're expecting it, because honestly, you just don't know what's going to come and give it to you. Just let it happen naturally.
You want to guess what mine and Mike's is? What do I love to eat the most?
Oh, God. Pizza?
Right? I learned how to make potato pizza from him, and we used to talk about competing. And I used to tell him, your pizza's not real because you buy the dough and you're just assembling it. I start from scratch, so it doesn't count. Pizza and ice cream. And it's like my two favorite foods. And that's what we had. And that keeps the joy going. And I make pizza at least once a week, if not more than that, which I'm not going to talk about it. Yeah, you find things niche, to comfort you.
But if you have somebody who's depressed in your life and who's sad, and don't, if there is a talk of suicide, because I found out recently, that someone very dear to me was having thoughts, like a preteen, of suicide. And I think to myself, my God. And you just have to listen. Just listen. Because you might not get a second chance at the heads up. They may just do it. So adults, same. depression is really, really difficult. Grieving is physically exhausting, emotionally exhausting.
Yeah.
It adds a whole other level of stress and pain. And
Yeah,
there
she's
are,
gonna make me cry now. Yes.
that's true. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
You're so right, and it's very important. And I had someone very close to me who was thinking about ending their life, and I did see signs ahead of it. And I
Mhm.
was the one thing that I can tell you from my experiences, both in attempt and having someone close to me who wanted to go down that road. I can tell you that you won't see them sad. You actually often see them overly happy and
Mhm.
trying really hard.
Yeah.
And those are some of the signs, where you think they've got it all and they really don't. So it's not necessarily the person not expressing sadness, but the person that's hiding it
Mhm.
that you have to be a little bit more concerned about.
Just listen.
Yeah,
That's it. That's what it comes down to. And
100%.
I've worked with a lot of people over the course of the last 18 years. I've worked with people who um, have been in some pretty hardcore cases, to the point where I've always made a point of requesting psychological assessments. You can't just go in and start working with um, people in it for one case I'm thinking of specifically was really heavy duty hardcore grieving,
Mm.
and she just sort of snapped. That was it. She just sort of snapped. I always require permission from a physician, a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever the case may be. I need permission to work with somebody who is under care like that, and I always get it. It's always a matter of just don't let them go off the meds. But when the meds don't work, you have to ask yourself, and they've tried different meds and it doesn't work. Again, process of elimination. So what else could be coming in? And as a medium, it's helpful. You bring in another medium, it's even more helpful. But again, there is that really, really fine line, and you have to be aware of all of it, and you have to go through proper protocol, right? So that's that. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what Michelle does. I don't do that. You handle all of that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
things are a bit
grateful for you
thin.
doing that.
Yeah, it can be pretty hard, but again, a little bit different when you can do things remotely. You can bypass some of that because it's not as intrusive. It's very difficult to ask somebody the questions, because if you're on that receiving end and you bring somebody in to help you, the questions, some people get very insulted, but you do have to understand, we have to ask them.
For their own safety.
For your own safety.
Yeah,
Exactly.
your safety, not ours, yours.
Yeah, Kathleen,
Yeah.
that's right. There is always hope. I am really big into vibrations and frequencies, and seeing some really amazing things happen just through switching the way you think and raising those positive vibrations. Negative things cannot dwell in a positive space. They cannot. They can't feed from it. There's nothing for them to hold on to. It's why they fight so hard to cause friction within your home. It's why they cause arguments. It's why they cause things to go bad. It's why they cause depression, or they amp up pre-existing conditions like depression
put
and
you in
anxiety.
Yep.
It's normal.
Mhm.
But when you are, I always say, you often see me post things, especially on Instagram, and it'll be like, live, love, laugh, breathe, smile, raise those vibrations, because you are going to keep that positive vibe going in your space, and you're not going to have anything come in. That's simple. So thank you, Greg. I'm glad you really enjoyed the show. That makes us happy.
It does. It
Very
really
improvish because we're not prepared, but it's worked out really well. So all of you in chat have been awesome also. But and Kate says, definitely I've started recognizing my own warning signs and paying attention when I notice them in others. I will be that pushy friend now that says, I don't think you're okay and I'm not going to leave you alone. with this. And a lot of people really just need that. Sometimes that's 100% correct. Sometimes it's just an ear. It's
Or
all they
even
need.
just
It's
sitting
just an
with
ear.
them. You
Yeah.
don't even have to talk. Just sit next to them so they know that
Mhm.
you're there in case they need you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Really is that simple, and pay it forward. Just pay it forward. When you're walking down the street, I find people, especially in this day and age, because we're so divided in so many ways, just smile at somebody, wave at somebody, smile, like just, my gosh, it's just so easy to frown and be angry, and just smile, say a kind word, give a wave, hold the door open.
I
Like,
smile so much that people think I'm nuts. But
I know,
say,
I know. Keep the road raging, Gare.
oh,
Kathleen, great discussion. Michelle, Amelia, I'm signing off. Looking forward to when Wayne can come
you.
back. We will definitely let you know when we reschedule Wayne, because
Absolutely.
we just didn't want to, try giving him half an hour. We do really want to reschedule him and give him the full segment. So
Absolutely.
I will definitely make a point of getting in touch with him, and we will do this again, plain and simple. So.
Just say something, Greg. I just want to say that what you may not realize right now is that by you sharing this on the show, you're
You too,
speaking
Kathleen.
to a lot of people, and you are helping a lot of people without even realizing it. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
You really paid it forward like times millions right now.
You have, absolutely. It takes a lot of courage to talk about it, especially in a live chat room. And when you've got like, 1.5 million plus people listening. So, but you know what? I think we all learn from one another, and I think that's maybe how the healing starts. It's just by putting it out there, and if even one person, if you saved even one person, or you brought awareness to even one person, then that alone made it all worthwhile.
I think
So that's nice. You've got it, Greg. I support you. That's great, Dave. Thank you. So just, awesome, positive conversation going on in chat tonight. I wish you guys in the airwaves could, see everything that we see.
on Facebook.
We try very hard to, get all that out there. Been listening to us for a while. I'm really grateful. We don't get the opportunity, like we book up literally months and months in advance. At one point, I think we were 8 months in advance. And we just had to just put the brakes on a bit, because people were like, come showtime, they're like, what? Oh yeah, it is booked. But I'm grateful that people approach us and people want to be on the show. We love to offer a platform for people to come out and talk about, their craft or their research on many, many, many different levels. The show covers everything. It's not just paranormal. But maybe what we should try doing, is leaving space maybe once every couple of months, even, just to be able to do something like this and address people in chat and do Q&As, and seems to be a pretty, pretty popular thing apparently. So never pump the brakes. Okay, great. I will not pump the brakes, but I'm not a brake pumper, frankly. It's like,
No, she's
but
not. I've been in the
I'm
car with her
a
just saying,
gentle breaker. It's like, but
sure.
I brake.
You do. I've been in her car just
I
saying.
brake. Depends on the car.
We live close to each other.
Yeah, depends on the car.
I haven't been in the other one, so I don't know. I just know the truck, but yeah.
Oh, that one's gone now. So,
Yeah.
and the baby's just been put away for a while. I just can't drive them all. But I'm really glad that everybody chimed in tonight. You guys made this a lot of fun, and sorry, Wayne, that we missed you. Internet problems, solar flares apparently is a thing according to Kathleen, and we will definitely, rebook, and hopefully not too far along. I think I've left a spot or two open November, December, so we can definitely go for that. And thank you again, Greg. You're very, very kind. But again, for those having issues, you can contact us. And again, I always say at the end of the show, people can contact us if they want to be on the show, if they have show ideas, at the outer realm contact at gmail.com. I say it again. But if you also have a situation that you need assistance with, I've had people message me because they listen to the show. And we do. I address all emails. Social media for me is very difficult because I get over 100 messages a day. I'm not trying to be, difficult. I just can't humanly get to everything because I'm not on social media every single day. So it does start to backlog. But we don't charge for our services. It's not a thing. And we do take everyone's situation very seriously. Whether you have something there or not, you have something that's leading you to believe that you do. And we will work with you on that. So again, the outer realm contact at gmail.com. Feel free, message, tell us your thoughts. If you need assistance, you want to be on the show, somebody wants to be on the show, you want to see a topic matter, we'll find somebody to be on the show. There's nothing we really can't make happen here. So
love it. It was so much fun.
Wasn't this great?
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun.
I was so sad and now I'm happy.
I know, but we will be bringing Dave Petrella on. So
yes.
outer realm contact at gmail.com, Dave. Message me on there, please.
Or go to our Facebook group page since you're on Facebook. And
I think
there.
I thought I saw your name in there actually. So I could definitely go in and look, but I do prefer to deal by email because nothing gets lost in the stream that way. It just keeps it right there and I could see it in a big format. So that one works better for me. And April, hey, April, be great if you did this every so often. Enjoy the show. Also, thank you for your help. You're very welcome.
Aww, love you, April.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Yeah. No, see, I would appreciate it. Email is best, outerrealmcontact@gmail.com. Well, yeah, message me, email me preferably, and we'll definitely go over topics and bio and things like that, and area of knowledge, work, research, things like that. Give me some options, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And yes, I promise we will try to do this again. And we will try to post it in advance so you guys can actually go onto the group page and ask your questions. So you can join us in chat and it will just give us a heads up as to what it is you want to know and we can be ready for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad you can see their chat because it actually froze on me when you froze. So
my screen is like almost 30 inches.
It hasn't rolled up. It's stopped at Joe's bleed through. It stopped there. It hasn't moved up. It's just completely frozen. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's
weird,
bizarre.
right?
No, because the screen is huge. So for me, I'm way off and I can still see it scrolling. So I know you're good with YouTube, but I know sometimes the Facebook. So it's not something I always get to do either.
No,
if we
have
a
guest. You're really lucky tonight because Michelle doesn't get that opportunity. But it just froze completely. So like we said earlier, there's a reason for everything.
There is. So I really am grateful that you guys are all in chat because we had a lot of fun with you guys. And when you're in chat, let us know you're here. Because, we have people coming up saying, oh, we listen and you're all so quiet. Sometimes it's just like, like we have Michelle will often come in here and she'll just put a little emoji just to let us know she's there. Michelle Millions. We see you.
Always.
Always. We do. We love you for it. But it's just, let us know you're here. Just give us a little something. There we go. Ashley Fisher. We are quiet. Yes, you are. But you can be quiet, but just let us know you're here. There we go.
Say hi.
Exactly. There's Wayne hooting away. No, we love to know you're here. We love it. We love the interaction. And if everybody's having a good time, then we'll do this more often. I think it would be a lot of fun. There's Dolly. Look at Dolly. There we are.
Hi, Dolly.
Love it. There we go.
I wish I could see all of this.
I know. Sorry. I'm just trying to go as we go along.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so no, it is. It's a lot of fun. And I promise we will do it again. And we will give you the opportunity to put questions in. And this is kind of, if you haven't noticed with the show, it's very round table. You know, we don't, oh, granddaughter, oh, sorry, Dolly. Boo, that's never fun, sick granddaughter.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I hope she feels better soon.
But you'll notice we don't drill our guests and we keep it very laid back, and we want them to talk and give us as much information as possible. And we do try really hard. It's hard with a guest sometimes. You can't always cut people off and go into, you know, into the chat room. But situations like this, it's easy. And you see, it very much is just like sitting at a table with us and interacting. We'll reference you. We'll you know, try to get your comments out there. And I love it when hosts of shows interact with their chats. Thank you guys as always. Ladies, for keeping me engaged. Oh, you're a sweetie. We always say you're like that third host. So
His background?
and he's always,
I didn't
yeah,
even
he
have
always,
to see that to know it was him.
I know, he always greets her, goes, oh, thank you for
He's
coming. It was really nice
so
having you.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Yes, I love
know.
him. Might have to
I
have
know.
him on.
I know, it's awesome. Wayne does the same. It's just, it's hilarious. I
Yeah.
love to see it.
Yeah.
But, you know, with that being said, the interaction was a lot of fun, and we do try to keep it very warm, and we're not formal by any means. We love to joke around with our guests. We love to joke around with our listeners, our chat. And moving forward, you know, as we get into the fall, we have a lot of brand new faces coming up and people who haven't been on the show. We love our favorites who keep returning, because in the field they just keep going with their research. You'll often see people return, but the research is always there. Then you have some of, you know, the people like, you know, Carl and Hamilton who come on just because they're freaking fun. And it's completely improvish, off the freaking cuff. You never know what's going to happen. And we just want something lighthearted because everything is so stressful out there right now. We just live in different times and people are stressed out and they have a lot of concerns. And we just want to do something that takes you away from that for a little while. You know, even if it's just a couple of hours a night, or you could only squeeze in an hour with us, just you listen, it takes you away. We have a good time. You know, I, for one, had a blast tonight. It's intense.
Had so much fun and I learned so much. Yes.
We learn from our guests all the time. Heck, we learn from our people in chat. You know, when Kathleen said there are solar flares going on right now, we're like, well, that would explain a lot, you know. So I don't know. It is a lot of fun. But with that being said, now I have to do, you know, the fun part, which of course is signing off officially. So I'm going to give my spiel, people. We've come to the end of what I thought was a really fantastic segment. I am sorry that our guest, Wayne Murphy, was having difficulty with internet. We will bring him back because his story is amazing. His discovery is amazing. And you guys really, really need to hear about anything that he can tell us at this point. There are big things coming with this. This is what I love about our people. They discover things and they share it with the world. It's fantastic. So thank you. We will bring him back on. And to those who stuck with us for the show tonight, a huge thank you to you. You were a whole lot of fun. Thank you to our producer, Joe Montaldo, a.k.a. JT Pink Shorts, a.k.a. Dr. Evil Pink Shorts, and everything else he came up with tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Huge thank you, of course, to Folgers Coffee, who do sponsor us each and every night, and they make this possible. So we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for enjoying us. Thank you for having faith in us. We truly are very faithful to you. As you can see, we're very faithful to you. Thank you. I know.
Yeah.
Anybody else comes on here with any other kind of coffee, that's it. They're going to hear about it. But anyway, so remember again, stop by the International Public Radio, UFO Paranormal Radio. The other one. UFO gods and
UFO
extraterrestrials. My God, I don't know why.
Only
I
because
just
it's
struggle
written
with that.
down. Only because it's written down. I never would have got that.
It's still a struggle. I have it in front of me. It's just a tongue twister, you know. But subscribe and feel free to show us some love. Head on over to the group page, The Outer Realm. Some of you are watching the show right on there tonight. And, you know, please just give us a follow. We are no longer on Instagram. Just, you know, not enough action over there. So we decided to just keep it in one place. Again, I will reiterate the outer realm contact at gmail.com for anything you need from Amelia and myself and the show itself. Now, tune in next week. We're going to have 2 more amazing guests. For the very first time ever, Wednesday evening, Mr. Ryan Stacy will be coming onto the show. And he does a huge amount of UFO research here in Canada. And he's just a little bit more old-fashioned traditional and gets really great results. Thursday night, we welcome back Mr. Payne Andoff. And he's going to be talking about extraterrestrial contact, maybe a little bit on astral projection. He's putting together a whole other package for us. And he will be continuing where he left off the last time, but with just a whole other bunch of awesome stuff. So in the meantime, it is a long weekend here in Canada and the United States. So I know you're not going to be seeing regular shows running on the network. You might see the Gray Zone Uncensored on Saturday. We just quite haven't decided. I guess it's going to depend on what's going on in New Orleans and, you know, if we just want a little bit of time off. But either way,
you got to read Joe.
I know. Either way, we will be back next week. So in the meantime, have a really wonderful, safe, long weekend if it applies to you. If not, just have a wonderful weekend. Thank you to everyone in chat. Signing off. Good night. We love you all.